Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson 2. As you know, my name is Jim Sutter. If you have any question, please drop me email angel@ukversity.co.uk and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Hope so you can hear me. Anyone any question before starting? Okay, those are listening, please. You can drop me email if any question. And today lesson is about LO2, which is learning outcome 2. And our learning outcome 2 is understand the external environmental factor impact on different organizations. When we say external factor, we're looking the MACRO, macro environment, which is mean uncontrollable. We can't control them, those factors. We have to adjust our business operations accordingly. So that will be in our discussion. The PESTEL, which is consists of political, economic, social, technological factors, legal and eco factors. Will go through a different, environment, political degree of political instability. We can look around the rule, regulations, type of the business organization. So when we look at economics factors, we look the different economic system, we look the demand and supply. We can look around the law of demand and supply, elasticity of demand and supply. We look the cost, we look the implies, how these cost, and research and development. Like, couple of you, I asked the question in the previous lesson. Why Nokia is not any more successful? Because they closed many research and development centers. They focus to reduce the cost, but in the long run, they not manage to innovate the mobile, and they not launch the product that meet the need. And the Apple went ahead then, and Samsung and many others. So we need to be think about impact. So social is demographic issues which we need to be look around. The trend in society like online shopping, our ethic moralities, the fashion, these, we need to look around. Technology, we need to be think about, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain. These are, fast growing technology and mobile apps and accounting forward. So legal factor, the legal is more about the law. Laws always carry on changing after Brexit, a lot of new legislation emerging and embedding. So we need to be make sure we'll carry on, following those legislation. Okay, legal factor. Also, as we mentioned, the GDPR, Health and Safety Act. We need to look around in taxation legislation, finance act. Environmental, at the moment is a lot of emphasis on sustainability. Or sustainable report is becoming crucial for the company to publish their reports. Sustainability means meeting the needs of current generation without compromising the need for the future generation. That's we need to be look around, and we need to be carry on. Okay, when we look the key terminology, what are the external factors? External are those, influence, circumstances, that the situation that the business cannot control, so affect of the business decision. So business owner and the state make, so we have to look around the large number of external factors have the direct impacts on the ability of your businesses, to achieve the desired objective as an organization. We have to look around the laws regarding the type of and the businesses good that can be imported and importations costs and various others, so we have to look around these factors closely. Micro factors affect the businesses. We look the economic condition, of course. At the moment, if you want to find please economic condition, good website, look around ONS. What is the ONS? Is the Office of National Statistics. So please that give you good, so indication. So if you look there at the moment, inflation expecting is 3.5, economics growth between that quarter is 0%, and it went downward, and now is we had a bit, news is recovery side that's not yet published. It will be published next quarter. So we can look around unemployment rate and all, so that's quite good, in economics factor and looking these indications. So technological advancement, we mentioned earlier, AI and artificial intelligence. So it's good website, please, if you want to look around. The website is step. Like you can look around the social media, you can look around the technology growth, it's good to be. And based on you can make cultural factors. which is come under the social factor. Culture means norms, value, the way we do the business. Think globally yet locally. The culture is changing towards like working women and their shares, and within societies, equal responsibilities. So political and legal factors, we mentioned last, seasonal, climatic factors, of course, huge impact, this is now environmental change and CO2 and environmental factors. So environment can be types, which is impacting on the various, the micro mean in the small level, small scale, micro level, customer input, suppliers, competitors, public marketing, media, and talent. So these we can adjust it, but MACRO, which is external, uncontrollable, we can't adjust it. We have to. So micro environment is basically the environment has a direct impact on your business. It is related to the particular area where your companies operate, affect the business's processes. We can look around micro internal in a few supplier supplying other supplier going out of the industry, they close their businesses. So that can be micro level impact. So maybe you look the second one or you look the various others. Customer, reseller, and retailer. These can be included in the micro levels. Uh, and when macro is more general and the environment is the economy itself, and it's affect on how all businesses that the group are perform, make the decision and form the strategies simultaneously. The dynamic, which is mean, the business has to be constantly track the changes. So change management is very, very important. Unfreeze, change, and refreeze. Unfreeze, change, refreeze, which is given the model by Levens 3 force model is quite crucial, which we can look around. If we don't change in year 2025, so we have to look around in January. We have to plan, changes according in terms of weather, in terms of economic, social, and environmental. So factor that make the micro environment, economic factor, demographic, technological factor, natural, physical forces, political, social, and cultural forces. So we have to look around when we say political factors. So political come trading policies, government changes, shareholders, funding, government leadership, lobbying, foreign pressures, conflict. Economic factor, disposable income. So you can find per capita income of the country according to the World Bank data. If you Google it, you can find UK and various other part. What is happening there? Unemployment levels, foreign currencies, interest rate, as I mentioned, ONS website, trade tariffs mean taxes, on international trade, inflation rate, foreign economic strength, and general taxation issues. We moving towards more digitalization of the taxes. Social factor, ethnic, advertising, seminars, ethical issues, as it's becoming more, and the poor, and health and safety, and telling different things, actually producing different health and safety, mental health issues, education, history. That's huge impact. These we need to be changed ourselves. Okay, technological factor, technology development, research development, trend in the global technology advancement, associated, technology legislation in technology field, patents, licensing, access into the technological field, consumer preference. We have to look around the consumer buying trend, intellectual property rights, which we need to be how mature, are certain technologies, information technologies, and communication. So when we're looking the political factor, legal factors, employment law, because accountant deals if you are running the business as a firm, so you have to look around the employment law as an employer. Consumer Protection, Consumer Act, which is 1979, good need to be fit for the purpose, and Consumer Protection Act 2015, and Competition Act. So we have to look around these legislation. Okay, competitive legislation, current legislation, home market, future legislation. There are plenty of legislation which we can. Environmental factor, ecologic, environmental, national stakeholders, attitudes, towards that, which we need to be further explored. 2.1, all these, which we can contextualize according to our assessment criteria, describe the key external factor that impact different organizations. So we said political, legal, in economic, social, cultural, technological, environmental. So past is analysis is useful for identifying the drivers, those and change and opportunity and the risk. Risk is mean the probability. If you don't change it, what will be happen? The chances how this impact on your business. So we have to be think about impacts. So there can be huge impact in terms of social, cultural, and environmental. Anyone any question? So guys, let's we'll spend 2 minutes please on legal and political. So addition or the removal of the legislative and the regulatory constraint. Constraint, the word mean limitation, threat and opportunities that bring, the changes in the legislation is possible and will therefore impact will be, and the tax and the incentive being, like national minimum wage at the moment is going to be £12 and 25 and it will be huge impact. So economic factor, interest rate, exchange rate, uh, emerging recession, global warming, credit crunch, recoveries and all these, we have to look around according to, I mentioned ONS and various other websites. Economic organization, economic cooperation development reports is good to read as well. Economics prospect, information rate, and we have to look around the country that it operate in and how will be affect the strategy. Social and cultural factors. So we have to look around the social and cultural factor include the changes in the taste and the lifestyle, and they may also include the changes in the demographic makeup of the population. Example, Western European people are living longer, and the most of the country's birth rate is falling, and the leading and aging population, they have the obvious implication of the type of the product and the services other organization may be planned to offer. So typical question need to be what are the current and emerging trends in the lifestyle and the fashion. A demographic trend will affect the size and the market and the sub-market. Does the trend and the opportunities affect technology factor? We have to look around technological factor may include the changes in the retaining the methods such as direct selling via internet, changes in the production methods, greater automations, which we have to look around, greater integration between the buyers and the sellers. The manager would need to know, what to extent the existing technology are maturing and what technology. So these, we have to look around. Then we have the environmental factor. Environmental factor include the product and the stewardship, which we need to be look around. The word steward is derived from, and it's mean the relationship like agent and agency theory. So the director or the agent of the shareholders in the public limited, actually owner of the company is the shareholder. So they have to work the best interest for shareholder maximization. No is a stakeholder value maximization as well. We have to look around stakeholders in the product we sell. Their interest should be kept in mind as well. So we are adhering the existing environmental legislation, opportunity for exploiting, favorable environmental impact. We looking the impact of the future. So next, we're looking 2.3. Analyze how the external factor impact upon the activities of the specific organization. So external factors affect organization, maybe political, economic, such like we can look around Apple, we can look around various other organizations. So Apple has the long been invested favorite, yes, because of the strong revenue growth and the high return on investment. And we can look around traditional computer company. Apple is now designing and manufacturing the wide variety of the electronic devices we can. And then please we can look around, some product is a star, some product is a cash cow, some product is a problem child according to BCG metrics. So we can various other models we can embed it. So Apple has the unique business model which is the right and design and appropriate software and own operating system all devices. So in recent years the Apple has branched out into the entertainment information services of the world largest online retailer, music streaming video and the software solutions, including the smartphone devices. Despite of the uniqueness and the Apple business model has successfully, we can look around the example of the Apple. And so let's please we look American technology companies, communicated a large amount of the cash, 300 billion in the bank June, according to the June figure 2020, and generating calls, for the cost taxation. So Apple is heavily, dependent on the cost of the manufacturing in China. Social, political unrest with China could, disrupt the manufacturing increase, the manufacturing cost in the country, and has been the call, So Chinese import in the United States effort to boost the American manufacturing. So cost is finding the alternative, So we have to look around at the moment, like a Donald Trump will be in power, so thinking about the tariff war between China and that's, if the taxes will increase, this will be huge impact, and we have to look around the political the differences between two sides, and we have to look around the impact on the Apple's, so Apple need to make the strategies accordingly to address these issues and improve the market share. So potential impact of the economic factors increase the labor cost in China could away the cost of advantage of the same Apple product, and the stagnation in the middle class incomes, and some developed countries, include the United States, could surrender the potential, the market and higher end the consumer, the goods are the such market is available. So we have to look around the strong, US dollar. It could increase the exchange rate and making more expensive, Apple to do, business in the key market like China and Europe. Potential impact of the social and the biggest, the growth of the consumer spending coming decade, which we have to look around the African Apple people are unfamiliar with the Apple's product. Consumer these market and the young people in Apple established markets such as United States lack of strong emotional attachment to the Apple product, that drive the sales. So we have to look around the backlash, against the expensive and the stylish product among the customer United States and the Europe. Ethically, the concern about the Apple manufacturing China. A limit is the product, appeal socially conscious, consumer. We have to look around the Apple association with China's North America and other part of the world. The Apple Music marketing strategy has created, resentment and the public. So we have to look around the Apple is changing the competitor. That's why Apple is successful as the change according to the environment and looking, and regular scanning the environmental factor. So Google is to roll out the payment apps and Android. We have to look around the Apple signatures, services. Apple, the number of the new product, Apple can bring, to the limited, and many offer, such as the Apple TVs, is the limited market and growing smartphones, tablets, and all of this. Proprietary operating systems can be. We can look around the growing capability of the cyber criminal make the Apple system less secure, so we have to look around, and the Apple is responding all these threats and the potential impact of the legal factor on the Apple recently high, regulated financial services sector. Apple could, face the increased level of the litigation. uh, Newer reports indicate, Apple planning to be enter into another highly regulatory, automobile manufacturing and the litigation cost of Apple. Apple depend on the variety of the product, covered intellectual property laws, software, music, and all these we need to be look around. The potential which we need to be look around in that case, the impact of the environmental, so biggest, disposals, with pollution, climate change, lot of environmental legislation, and lot. So next we have 2.3 analyze how external factors affect, the stakeholders. When we say stakeholders, mean anyone who has any interest, in the business is stakeholders, the customer, suppliers. We have to look around and various stakeholders, and we have to satisfy their needs and wants and demands, and the stakeholder analysis part of the formulating the business strategy. When we say strategies, mean action plan. Like we had a discussion in management areas, Porter generic strategy. Michael Porter, one of the great scholar, he gave the strategy about cost leadership differentiation or differentiation focus. So in we can develop these strategies in business, and this classification of the stakeholders can be internal, And the external stakeholders pay, working condition, and job security employees really want, and then we have to meet their expectation. Managers that they want more salaries, the growth and growing company. Connected stakeholders, those are connected together. Connected stakeholders can be used have that contractual relationship. So we look around the shareholders, the customer want value for money really, and the supplier want paid promptly, and the finance provider ability to repay the funds. So we have to look around, and we have the firm need to be planned. External stakeholders is the community at large, in the wider interest of the community. The Apple need to work. Environmental pressure group, they looking the sustainability, promoting renewable energy, and government, the activities central to the success economy. Trade union, yes, a union can be huge impact to on the strike, so you have to look around these conflict, employees versus manager, job wages versus bonuses, customer versus shareholders, product quality, service level, and profit and dividend, and general public and the shareholders effect on the environment and the profit and the growth. So we have to balance out, different stakeholders and their expectations to be sustained in a business. Any question from anyone? Okay, guys, if you want to work towards the merit criteria, always no aim is a crime in fail life, no crime. So we have to look around external factors, success for the organization. So government type of stability. So we have to look around the political factor, regulation, as we mentioned earlier, economic factor, per capita income, unemployment rate, inflation rate, finance sector within that, the growths and the wages, all these we need to be look around dealing with the money, and social cultural factors, population growth rate, population health, population employment patterns, pressures, attitude, lifestyle, and the technological factor, impact on the emerging technologies, impact on internet, increase in remote and research and development activities. That's all we need to be look around. In order to assessment, please, what you can do, you can pick, the couple of the case studies are included, those are available on our Moodle page, the prime marks, so we can look around the and which factors will be affected. Next, we have the distinction criteria, evaluate the impact of external factor on the accounting business. The globalization, technology are the huge factors. We have other is the law, legislation like accounting standards, the business model, functional organization, multiple choice techniques, distant ideologies. Company must design, moment. The company's accounting system, significant part of the organization, and we look the particular features of the appropriate system will depends on the circumstances faced for the company. We have to look around the big changes, ACCA and various others, professional bodies, their members and education, responding the big changes, evolving the smart and digital technology continues, globalization, environmental and legislation. We have to look around the accounting information requirement at the operational levels, the sales ledger trade-off. We have to look around the sending out the statement. We have to look around the accounting query, credit approvals. We have to look around the managerial level and different operational level, management level, and the senior level changes. We have to look around health and safety, the flow of information, and the CN sports system, and the transaction support system, and executive information system, MIS, management information system, CRM, customer relationship system. We have to be well aware of, and we need to be embed those in our changes in the processes. So the PESTEL is the accounting terms, public factors. We can look around the data protection, regulation, deregulation, health and safety, environmental legislation, tax policy, competition, environment, means interest rate, exchange rate, inflation, and all social factors, population growth rate, legislation, average family size, investing, into immigration, and internet connectivity, wireless automation, trigger, the changes in the management accounting based on the study, conducted are two of the organization factor, environmental. We have to look at consist of the transactional organizational ownership such as acquisition, mergers, decentralization, hierarchy structure, downsizing, right sizing. We have to look around the environmental factors. Those are the hugely impact, and environmental factors such as known as external factors, rapid changes in these, mergers, acquisition practices. We have to look around development latest, the information system, manufacturing. We have to look around the company changes. We have to look around the put the faith into the management accounting. Globalization, like world became a global village. Globalization is growing. The boundaries is removing. The mergers and acquisition between companies. Companies are going more internationally, and the Brexit, happened, and the Brexit is a huge impact, in terms of the rules and regulation. We have to look around in terms of the Brexit and the globalization. It's more the Donald Trump in power and the localizations. His views more need to be, and the knowledge about the new tax plan, and there will be issues as well as the strategic views improve, business performance and financial accounting regulation governance. That's huge. We have achieved financial management offices and all, the account and increase the regulation and the stronger governance, greater impact in the profession 2025, and the management must assess the associated technical, political, ethical challenges, and this is crucial for management accountant. So please, we included some link, quite good to be. So please, you can click the link. You can further enhance your understanding. You can read further from these, anyone. And please, always good to be, if you want to be keep your update data IFA network events, so carry on attending those IFA network events, carry on happening. Please go on the IFA website and look around these, please. It's quite crucial. We have to look around uh, Institute of a Financial Accountant. So please, look around the CPD sessions and carry on attending those. That will help you to enhance your, and look around and track, the changes, what we need to be making the change. That's all from my end. And today we discuss about macro environment, external factors, how these impact, and different types of organization and these factors. And then we have to develop the business model. We discuss about globalization, localization. We discuss about various legislation and different elements within the macro environment and micro as well. And thanks for attending, and hope I'll speak to you during next lesson when we'll go through LO3. And have a lovely weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.